So, welcome back again. So, we finished our families. In the last class, we finished Acanthaceae, and now we are moving on to our next family, that is Lamiaceae. So, Lamiaceae is coming under the order Lamiales. So, let us check first what are the typical characters of the order Lamiales. Okay, you know these plants of this family are usually zygomorphic. So, in the last class also same thing you studied in the case of Acanthaceae also. So, here and also while discussing some families like Acanthaceae, I already told you the relationship with the other families. So, here you can see this family is while discussing Verbenaceae also I told you it has some affinity with Lamiaceae. So, this is a zygomorphic condition. So, it is a zygomorphic condition and stamens are 2 or 4, usually it is 4, and also you can see here ovary is 2 to 4 celled, usually bicarpellary, but it appears to be tetracarpellary, it is 4 celled ovary. Okay. Then ovule is solitary. Okay. Then now we are moving on to the family Lamiaceae. It is also known as Labiatae, clear. So, it is known as Lamiaceae or Labiatae. So, the common plant coming under this family is Tulasi, you know Tulasi, Ocimum plant, okay, and also Tumba. And the systematic position is, it belongs to the class Dicotyledonnae and subclass Gamma Petalae, that is why because corolla or petals are fused condition, and the series Bicarpellatae, very important, Bicarpellatae and Lamiales order, okay. And this family is distributed all over the world, that is worldwide in distribution, tropical and subtropical countries. You can see this family members, and there are about 200 genera and 3200 species, grown as ornamental, growing as widely. Most of them are of medicinal and most of them are highly fragrant because of the particular oil content inside the plants. Okay. And its habit, while looking into the habit, most of them are herbs and shrubs. They are aromatic herbs and shrubs. You take the example of Tulasi, or you take the example of Leucas, that is Tumpa, mint, our mint, you know, Pudina. So, you can see all these, there is a particular fragrance, that is aromatic ones, and they are usually herbs. Shrubs are also present, very rare, and one tree is there, that is American genus Hyptis. In here also Hyptis is there, but that is grown as herb, but an American genus Hyptis, that is a tree, and one is climbing one, that is Cutularia. Okay, that is all about the habit. Look at, you are familiar with these common plants growing in wild Pogostemon, and this is the habit. Habit, you can see this plant is also familiar. In our area we usually call it as Masamari coleus. Its color will changes, the leaf color will changes. And root system is branched taproot system. You can see branched taproot system, and root is having different conditions like adventitious roots are also present. From stems root arises. Usually mint is like that, is growing creeper. Stem from the stem part usually roots arises. And leaves, you can see usually leaves are like this, serrated margins. Usually opposite arrangement, but there are world condition also you can see in the case of leaves, usually opposite conditions are present. Okay. And they are simple leaves, see here you can see this is simple leaves, okay, and it is petiolate, petiole is present, and very rarely sessile condition also you can see, and exstipulate when stipules are absent. Another peculiar feature is hairy, that is very important point, hairs are present in the leaves, and also aromatic smell. So, these are very important points, I will show you by highlighting this, the points like that hairy nature, okay, and also with the aromatic smell, okay. Then entire, in one case only it is pinnate, pinnaphid leaf in Peroschia, all others they are simple leaves usually with the petioles, and aromatic is very important and presence of hair is very important while identifying the members of Lamiaceae, understood, okay. See, this is the Leucas, Tumba. Look at the leaves, and these are the some other members leaves that is serrated with a smooth hairy structure. See, you can see in this picture the small hairs also you can see. So, most of your houses you can have the Ocimum, that is Tulasi. So, just have a check of the leaves, okay. And now about the inflorescence. You already studied, I already discussed with you the special type of inflorescence, that is verticillaster inflorescence. So, verticillaster is a common inflorescence in these members, and that is a pair of condensed dicasyl cyme. I already told this is a dicasyl cyme, that is a condensed at the nodal region. Okay. So, number of flowers you can see at the nodal region, this is the nodal region, that is a condensed cyme. So, this is the typical inflorescence of the family Lamiaceae. Question also arises, the typical inflorescence of the family, what is that? Verticillaster. If any doubt, go back to the class inflorescence. Clear? This is the inflorescence, this is a diagrammatic pattern, and this is the actual case with branch of flowers, bunches of flowers at the nodal region and number of bracts also present. Okay. So, the close-up view of the inflorescence, that is of Lamiaceae, and this is the flower. See, flowers are also having some hairs present in its corolla part, and flowers are pedicellate. I already told you stalk is there, or sessile one is also present, usually bracteate, and flowers are complete, and they are zygomorphic. That is very, very important. Zygomorphy is a typical feature of the family, zygomorphy. Actinomorphy is present only in Mentha and Elsholzia, that is only actinomorphy present. Then bisexual condition, but rarely unisex in one or two members. Then pentamerous and hypogynous. Clear? So, hypogyny, bicarpellary is already I told you bicarpellate coming under. Then bracteate and also zygomorphy. Zygomorphy is a typical feature of this family. Clear? Now, looking into the calyx, you can see the calyx is having 5 sepals. Look here in this portion, calyx 5 sepals, and that is gamosepalous, means sepals are fused. Bilabiate, very important point while discussing the calyx, you have to note down this point, bilabiate. Okay, 2 halves, bilabiate, 1, 2 lips, or likewise it is arranged, splitted, that is sepals 5, 2 groups, bilabiate condition. Okay. Calyx's shape is campanulate, that is persistent. Okay, you look at the inflorescence of the ocimum. When the flowers are fall upon, you can see the ocimum having some small, only some cavity like an opened structure left after petals fall down. That is the persistent calyx. You can see that. Persistent calyx with valvate aestivation. Clear? These are the green colored portions are the calyx. Now, another peculiar point is that these are all the leftover calyxes here. Some sharpened structure you can see. This is salvia. And this is also salvia. While looking discussing about the corolla structure, see, corolla possesses a tubular base. This is the tubular base. See what is this is the calyx. See, I already told you after falling the petals this calyx is fully covered here. This is a calyx, and this is the tubular corolla. Tubular corolla, that is widens towards the mouth. Here it is opened. At the apical region it is opened. Okay, this is a tubular corolla. So, this is also another very important point, tubular corolla. Okay, in the convolvulaceae you studied a campanulate structure. Okay, here it is tubular corolla. Okay, and petals are 5 like sepals, and they are gamopetalous. That is very important point, and 5 teeth are present, and they are mostly bilabiate. Understood? So, bilabiate, already in the calyx also we discussed bilabiate in 2 groups, 5 teeth are present. Bilabiate, here you can see 1 and 2, these are the 2 groups, bilabiate, and this is the tubular corolla. This is very important point. Okay. Then valvate aestivation or maybe imbricate aestivation. These are the some structures, some corolla, how it is, bilabiate, 1 here and other, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that is 5 markings are there, gamopetalous condition. See another point, plant, see another one. So, here inside this portion, here you can see the stamens arranged. See, looking into this bilabiate condition, this is the petals, 2 parts divided, toothed ones, and these are the stamens arranged, and this is the basal ovary. The tubular calyx here, and this is the bilabiate condition. Now, about the androecium. Look, androecium is didynamous. What is didynamous? Already discussed here. 4 stamens, 2 same length, 2 another same length, 2 smaller, 2 larger, this is 4. and this is you can see 2 plus 2, and posterior stamen is usually reduced, that is represented by a staminode, a sterile stamen. Okay. This is a didynamous condition, 2 long stamens and 2 short stamens, didynamous condition. Okay. See here itself 2 long, here it is represented 2 long and 2 short. Okay. Then stigma also in between this linearia species. Then while discussing about gynoecium, bicarpellary, that is a typical feature of the series Bicarpellate, syncarpus fused one, superior and situated in hypogynous honey secreting disc. It is very important, a honey secreted disc is present near to the ovary, and bicarpellary condition and syncarpus and superior one, very important, that is why flower is hypogynous, clear. Now, bilocular, that is very important point, but it become tetralocular by false septum. So, septum formed and become tetralocular, but typically it is bilocular. So, this is also a very important point while discussing the Lamiaceae family, clear. Now, another point is axile placentation, one ovule in each locule. And ovules are, another point is style is gynobasic. That is also a typical point. I can write here some ink color that is not showing. Gynobasic. What is gynobasic? See, gynobasic is a condition. Stigma is bilobed. Gynobasic means it is inserted, style inserted in the base of the gynoecium. So, I will show you the diagrams. See, this is a condition of gynobasic. This is a condition. This is a ovary. Usually it is arranged like this, style and stigma, but here you can see how this is arranged, style from this side, basal portion. This is known as gynobasic. So, these different types you can observe in Lamiaceae. So, typical feature of the Lamiaceae is gynobasic style, clear? Now, see, usually I already told you bilocular, but this is the, by forming false septum, it appears to be tetralocular. Okay. Then this is the condition, see gynoecium, how it is arranged, bilocular condition, and these are the stamens arranged. This is the persistent calyx you can see after falling of the flowers, persistent calyx. By looking into these features, you can identify the family Lamiaceae. See, this is a diagram showing all the parts observed here. This is the tubular corolla, bilipid condition. Gynobasic style, this is the disc, this is a disc, nectariferous disc, and this is a sepal, and style and stigma, how insects moving into this is very important, pollination moving in through this tube into the up to this region. Okay. Now, filaments having structured connective is there, while insects sit on here, okay, sit on here, it penetrates, its proboscis will move into inside this and it will suck, and this petal, this lower lip act as a seat for the insect. See, deposition of pollen on stigma by reaching into another flower. Okay, this is structure of the flower. Here in this lower lip usually the insects sits. Okay. Now about the fruit. Fruit is a carcellus or achenes. That is a type of achene, or it is a nutlet, and rarely a drupe is also present. Then seeds are non-endospermic seeds. Okay. So, looking into this diagram, you can see all the parts. These are the adventitious roots developing. This is a verticillaster inflorescence, and this is a bilipid condition. This is the style, gynobasic style, persistent sepals, and didynamous condition, 1, 2, 3, 4 stamens. Okay. Then hairy nature, gynobasic style you can see, tetralocular, usually bilocular but appears to be tetralocular condition, clear. So, while looking into the picture, it is very clear the typical feature. I already told you, leaves with fragrance and also with hairs all over the parts, bilabiate corolla, bilabiate sepals, then didynamous stamens, 4, 1 becomes staminodes, then special type of pollination mechanism, and also another point is the style is gynobasic, and another point, ovary usually bilocular but appear to be tetralocular due to false septum. These are the typical feature, persistent calyx also. Okay. Now economic importance, this plant is very common to you, that is Ocimum tenuiflorum, that our common Krishna Tulasi, and this is highly medicinal, used for bronchitis, asthma, cough, etc., and also allergies we use Ocimum. And this is another one, Plectranthus ambonicus, this Panicurca, very common one, usually used for cough and other asthma, bronchitis treatments. And this is the Leucas aspera, our common Tumba, and this is the peppermint, Mentha piperata, our common mint, usually we used as medicinal, and we use it is edible, used in our curries for getting fragrance. That is very highly aromatic plant. Peppermint essence is there, Mentha piperata is the scientific name of mint. And lavender, you heard about lavender cosmetics are available in large numbers, it's talcum powder, it's perfumes, etc. available. It's obtained from Lavandula species, that's coming under the family Lamiaceae. And adventitious root tuber of Plectranthus rotundifolius. One Plectranthus we already studied, Panicurca. Another species rotundifolius is used as vegetable tuber. And ornamental salvia, when you visit botanical gardens like Ooty, you can observe a large number of salvia plants, red flowers, violet flowers, different color. That is a very attractive of the garden. So salvia splendens is the common species. Then this is another ornamental, Plectranthus scutellarioides, Masamari we can call it as, different colors it will appear, Plectranthus scutellarioides. You can collect this and you can preserve, make a herbarium by taking this plant. And that's all about this family. So common plant Plectranthus, Ocimum, Leucas, mint are the common plant. Then Hyptis suaviolens, Kaattu Tulasi nammal parayum, Hyptis is a common plant, Hyptis suaviolens, Kaattu Tulasi. Then Anisochilus is there, that is in our campus. But these are the very common plants that you can collect and have preserved. So by looking into the Lamiaceae, in short, that is aromatic plants with the leaves are usually hairy, stem is also hairy, inflorescence in verticillast, that is a typical feature. Flowers are bisexual, zygomorphic, okay, and also usually with corolla and sepals with bilabiate condition, lipped, serrated, toothed sepals, and also diadinamus stamens, then tubular corolla, gynobasic style, bilocular but become tetralocular by false septum. Okay, then special type of pollination mechanism. So that's all about, and also economic importance, it's very important. Usually questions from this family, economic importance may be asked, and also nature of corolla, structure of corolla, and vegetative features of the family Lamiaceae. So I hope you understood well. So have a nice day. Thank you.